Coworker insisted I groom my husband, then reported him to HR. My husband started a job a few months ago. It's a night shift job, and they sometimes stay long enough to interact with the opening staff. This morning he was in the break room for a quick drink before finishing up for the day. The coworker asked if he was married as she noticed his wedding band and followed it up by asking how old he was, commenting that he looked too young to be married. He told her that he was 24 and that we have been happily married for 5 years. She said, "So you were 19 when you got married?" And my husband responded, "Yes, I was 19, almost 20, and my spouse had just turned 20. She said, "So you were groomed?" He said, "No, we were both over 18 when we got married, and it's a 5-month age gap. We were both definitely adults." She said that's exactly what someone who was groomed would claim. She kept pushing at it, saying the small age gap and 18 facts didn't matter, and that it was disgusting that a 20-year-old would marry a teenager. He pushed back as well, saying that it definitely wasn't grooming. She was incredibly insistent and was making snide remarks about me. Here's the comment she reported him for: "Even if it was grooming, which it wasn't, I would do it all over again the same way because it's worked out great so far." After the conversation ended and my husband got back to work, she approached him and informed him that she had called her to report him. He said, "Sounds good. I'll be giving them a call myself because your behavior was inappropriate." She ignored him and stomped off. After he got off work, he called to report her as well. HR thanked him for calling before they had to call him. Apparently she told them exactly what happened, and they were really confused as to why. She was coming out of this thinking she was the wrong party. He apologized for making the comment and told them he knew it wasn't work appropriate, but that he was beginning to get angry about the way she was talking about his spouse, and responded without thinking. The rep said he understood and that it was an inappropriate response, but it wasn't anything worth being punished over. They did, however, ask him if he wanted to follow through on a complaint against her, because her commenting that aggressively about me and accusing both me and him of really serious things was behavior that was punishable. He told them he would. "We both find this super baffling, mostly because we both come from a small town in a deep southern state where young marriages are very common. We're currently in a larger city in a western state, and while we've gotten comments or questions on our young marriage, nobody has ever mentioned anything about grooming over a 5-month age gap. It gonna do the usual. Oh my God, I had no clue this was gonna blow up. I fell asleep and woke up to a bunch of attention. Thanks for all the replies. I knew she was crazy, but it feels good to have it validated. Lol. I'll address some of the comments I've seen. 1. My husband told me that she had mentioned during the conversation that she was 20. 2. HR told my husband that they were really confused when she called because they had no clue where she was going with the conversation. 3. The only thing that was inappropriate regarding his comment was implying that he would get groomed voluntarily or something along those lines. 4. I hadn't considered that she may have been attracted to him. He's very handsome, and I like to tease him when people flirt with him or give him googly eyes because he genuinely has no clue and doesn't care if others find him attractive and non-binary, and he genuinely hasn't ever had any interest in anyone else romantically, so he says he identifies as married in terms of his sexuality. Mwah. 5. A few comments have said this is fake or posted copy pasta. What to tell you, man. My husband came home, told me about it, and I posted it on here to see if you all thought she was as crazy as we did. What proof you need, but to be frank, I don't care about imaginary internet points enough to waste my time lying to get them. Also, thanks for not talking down on us for getting married young. We have had a lot of sideways comments over the years, and it's like a breath of fresh air to see everyone being so kind. My husband and I first met at 17 and 16. We worked together at our first jobs at a crappy fast food restaurant. We were very committed from the start. He's been an amazing husband. His work has a convenience store in the same building, and the workers at the store recognize him as the guy who buys his spouse flowers all the time. Every time the last bouquet wilts, he brings me home another. HR mentioned that they were going to pull the camera footage and look over it to see if there was anything else about the interaction that needed to be addressed. So I'll update if anything noteworthy comes out of the report. I doubt it'll be much more than a passing thing. As I said, my husband's shift doesn't overlap with gay crew by much, so he usually doesn't interact with them, so it's unlikely he'll have a problem with her again. Edit to Daniel, more clarification. He does not work an office job. I'm trying to keep what kind of job he is vague for privacy reasons. HR report was a phone call because they do not have our in the building. I don't have auto capitalization turned on in my phone settings because I have autism and am constantly worried about sounding too rude. Capitalizing words while doing informal writing feels like I'm being harsh or angry. That's also why it's so long. I can't tell how much information is too much and have problems being concise. I have all the details about what happened because when my husband tells me things, I listen and ask questions. Yes, this was really something that happened. Yes, people really are this stupid sometimes. No, I didn't make it up. Yes, this probably sounds like another post out there because there are billions of people on Earth and I doubt anybody has any truly unique experiences anymore. I posted this offhandedly and thought it would get like 3 comments. I mainly wanted to see if there was an explanation to her behavior that we weren't thinking of.